This story broke yesterday, and it got a lot of exposure. We got a ton of emails. Basically, LeBron James has a camp, the great king, LeBron James, and this kid, Ryan Miller, photographer, is at the camp shooting it. And all of a sudden, one of the guys at the camp dunks on LeBron. Two-hand jam. And LeBron and Nike come up and say, give us the tape. So they have the tape. Ryan Miller is that photographer. He is joining us via the Subway Fresh Take hotline. Were you intimidated, Ryan, when the rep from Nike came up to you and asked for the tape?
I wasn't too intimidated, no, and I knew who Lynn Merritt was. I knew that he had signed LeBron to his $90 million Nike deal and was a big Nike executive, but I wasn't too intimidated. He was just more demanding than I was, I guess. He had a stronger personality than I did.
Okay, now, it should be noted you're an ESPNU intern, is that correct?
No, I had done some video. I had done a few video packages for ESPNU's Campus Connection program.
Oh, a freelancer.
Yeah, while I was at Syracuse, and so I had a connection there with one of the producers, and he asked if I could shoot a few interviews and different shots from some of the high school guys at the camp.
So you're one of these kids, you get in your car, you're a kid in college, you get in your car, you're a hustler, you're out there road tripping, going to these things, filming stuff, writing stuff, trying to make a little scratch.
Yeah, I just graduated in May and just kind of driving around. I drove to Chicago for the NBA Combine, drove to New York for the NBA Draft with media credentials, and then just kind of decided to get up at 5 o'clock and drive to Akron for the camp on Monday morning.
All right, so you're an ambitious kid. Do you want to be a sports writer, caster, photographer, producer? What do you want to be?
Actually, I want to do on-air, probably sports reporting, hopefully basketball, actually, probably not with the Cleveland Cavaliers in the near future.
Okay, so you go to this camp, you're shooting stuff. Did those people at Nike or LeBron ever give you a reason for confiscating your tape?
No, they just said that I wasn't allowed to be shooting any of the NBA guys because they might not be in good shape and that they wouldn't want to be on the internet and not exactly game shape. And then they also said that it was not allowed, videographers were not allowed to shoot the NBA guys at the camp, but he said he had seen me shooting for 15 minutes, but I'm not sure exactly why he didn't ask me when he saw me in the first minute rather than after LeBron came up to him and asked if he could have my tape.
So basically tell us the story, what happened.
I was just shooting. I don't know necessarily if it was because of the Jordan Crawford dunk or not, but ironically enough, I introduced myself to LeBron James because his team was off the court after they lost the game, and we have a mutual friend from Syracuse, Johnny Flynn, who just got drafted from the Timberwolves, and LeBron was very polite, very approachable. You know, said, nice to meet you, he asked where I was from. I told him I just graduated Syracuse. I thought we were really having a good bonding experience. And then 5-10 seconds later, he walked over to Lynn Merritt, and one of the Nike executives, and Lynn had brought me over and said that he needed my tape because it had footage that I wasn't supposed to be shooting.
So pretty much, they saw you shooting, only had a problem after the dunk. And by the way, was it a very impressive dunk?
It was a good dunk. I'd say it was a 7 or 8 out of 10, but with the LeBron James factor, you gotta give it a 9 out of 10. The crowd reaction was the best because there were 125 high school kids and former college NBA coaches watching, and everybody gasped like they wanted to cheer, but then they realized it was King James camp, and you can't cheer when you get dunked on at your own camp. So people were very respectful after they realized it was his own camp, and you can't cheer for that.
All right, Ryan Miller joining us, just graduated Syracuse. If you haven't heard the story, was shooting at LeBron James' skill camp as a freelancer. LeBron got dunked on. Ryan, who'd been shooting for 15 minutes, then Nike, LeBron come over, they confiscate the tape. Do you think the footage will get out somewhere?
I'm not sure. I'm guessing that Nike will kind of be pressured into putting the footage out or giving the footage back unless they threw it out that night. Unless they threw it out immediately, not thinking it would turn into a big publicity bonanza like it has been. If they threw it out that night, I checked the garbage cans around the arena before I left. Then I didn't see them there, so they didn't throw them out in the arena. But if they still have the tapes, I think they'll end up resurfacing.
Ryan Miller joining us. Okay, now, here's what's interesting about this whole scenario. Some rumors have come on the internet. One rumor it was floated yesterday that the Nike people they wanted the tape because some players the guy that dunked on LeBron was wearing Adidas shoes. Do you buy that excuse?
No, I didn't notice or hear that at the time. I was kind of oblivious to all of the media yesterday because I was driving home. I didn't even know that any of this was online, so I haven't even had a chance to read much of many of the rumors or anything. But I don't think that's why. If it is, he's a genius for having the presence of mind at the time to get that tape removed.
By the way, when they asked you for the tape, did you pause? Did you think about arguing?
Yeah, I tried to argue a little bit. They didn't really want to hear it too much, and the only reason I really gave the tape back was because the media relations guy it's a third-party company that ran the event, he kind of took me to the side and said, hey, I'm going to take your tape just so they see that I have it in my hands to pacify the Nike guys, but I'll give it back to you tomorrow after it kind of blows over. But then the next day he told me that Lynn Merritt actually asked him personally for the tape as well. That's the only reason I would have tried to fight it with a little bit of First Amendment. Since I just graduated, took the communications law class, I would try to fight it a little bit more than that.
All right, Ryan Miller, ESPNU freelancer, Syracuse grad. You sound like a real hustler. I don't know a lot of kids out of college who are working this hard. If you're looking for work, Fish, you better stay on the up and up, pal. This kid he is breathing down your neck, man. Hey, Ryan, congrats and good luck to you.
Hey, thanks, man. I was a fugitive yesterday on the show. You couldn't get me on, so glad to come on today.